Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome to the Schizo Report. This is your schizophrenic speaker of the day and your host with the most. So this is the truth, okay? Full Tilt Poker, they've been shut down. There's so much scandal. Honestly, you know what's the straight truth is once they start up again, I'm actually going to sign up and play there instead of Stars, but I guess I'm just schizo like that. But anyway, did you want to know the truth with the old management of Full Tilt? The pros were actually getting bankrolled. They were getting free money basically to play online. And so the high stakes games and the high stakes sharks that were going on and losing to the pros, it didn't matter if the pros lost anyway because they were getting free money, which they didn't have to pay back. So ultimately, it was a suck out game, and the pros had nothing to lose while these sharks that are really good players unknowingly were up against an unbeatable force because their bankroll would never end. Full Tilt would just keep reloading them, and these guys' hard-earned money that were playing against them were being duped. And I wonder how many millions, I'm talking millions, was lost as a result of these Full Tilt pros. Now you see them on TV and you're like, oh, they're so cool. But meanwhile, they were thieving from everybody the whole time on Full Tilt. And we're supposed to look at them with respect now? I don't think so. You stole from us, and you stole from the people. I played some high stakes, and I lost, but I'm not the best player. But I'm telling you that we were duped. Not saying the cards were rigged. I'm saying that their bankrolls were rigged. Didn't matter if they lost or won. They were getting free money. So why wouldn't you go all in on shit? Thanks, bye.
I guess it works, the stick.
So this was an image born on TV. Do you guys believe that?
No.
No, I mean, maybe somewhat, but realistically, Phil, if we all know Phil away from the table, he's a good guy. At the table, he has the persona. He has this persona that he's the bad boy, and people go after him and they attack him, which strategically forces him to play a little differently. Me, personally, I take another approach. I enjoy what I'm doing. I love playing poker.
But you're wearing black today, buddy.
Right. I love the game itself, but I love to have fun and enjoy doing it. And I find that when I do that, my opponents sometimes maybe even take it easy on me because they want to see me hang around. They want him out of here. Get rid of this guy. So
No, most of the time I'm pleasant at the table. It's true. I mean, if you watch me on television, every single time there's a little blow up, they're going to play it over and over again. But I mean, most of the time I'm pleasant at the table and joke and get along with people.
Oh yeah, sure. How could you play that hand? Don't you know who I am? Don't you know? I'm Phil Hellmuth. How could you play like that against me?
Do you think it's strategy, though? Does it help you guys? I mean, when you guys have blow-ups?
Well, I don't know, but I mean, like me at the table, like I'm literally the way I am. I mean, Phil at the table, I really don't know what planet he comes from sometimes. He's somewhere way out there sometimes.
Not only do you play, Phil Gordon, but also you see it from the other side of things. Do you think that it hurts these guys? Does it help them? Is it truly a strategy?
I really think that it hurts both Phil and Mike. I think Daniel's strategy is much more sound. You don't want your opponents to go out of their way to play pots with you, in my opinion. I would just be very content to let them, to just steal them blind.
Listen.
You know, just be a nice guy. Why do you want them to come after you?
Realistically, it's not a strategy. That's just, I'm not like making a persona. I'm going to play the nice guy role. We're not the WWE.
Well, I'm just myself on camera, and so is Mike. And actually, I think Mike's really good for poker. And I find it interesting that you know, when they're going to televise a table and they have 20 tables to turn from, and you have Phil Ivey and John Giwanda sitting next to each other, and Can Hua and Freddie Bagnotti, 4 great players sitting at the table, and then you have Mike Matusow and 9 amateurs. I find it very interesting that he's at the television table. I think he's good for the game. He wears his emotions on his sleeve, for better or for worse.
Yeah,
but I think people can relate to that.
Yeah, but we're not there to make good television. We're there to play great poker. That's not the point. Is not to make great TV. The point is to make the best play available on every hand.
Phil, don't you think that you use your personality to your advantage sometimes, though? I mean, I know that you don't think it's good for people to go after you, but if you're really aware that you're doing that, and I think particularly in Phil Hellmuth's case, if I were an amateur player at his table, I don't want to be the guy that makes a bad play and then has to hear it on TV from Phil Hellmuth. I actually might...
And in articles, and in books.
There's definitely an intimidation factor. You know, Phil does this thing where Phil literally, if you raise him 4 times in a row, he screams at you and yells at you. Do you know who you're raising? 4 times. Huh? I'm going to come for you. I'm going to come for you. The next time that player's thinking about raising, like, is he going to yell at me again? All right, I fold. So there is the other, you know, side of the coin
That's an exaggeration,
can work into your favor.
But I do have a little bit of intimidation going. I mean, I like the black hat. I like the black sunglasses. I like wearing black head to toe. And I like sitting back and listening to my music and being the bad boy of poker.
Well, I mean, it's definitely psychological warfare. I mean, there's no doubt about that. You're at the table, and if you can get under someone's skin, or you can get him to play in a way that he wouldn't have played otherwise, you're probably...
You have to just understand your table image. I mean, Josh Area is another one who we saw that likes to get under people's skin and really go after people. And as long as you understand what that's doing to people, whatever approach you take, there's something to be said about any way that you...
But Daniel, you can take it too far, you know. And I think Tony G, for instance, on the World Poker Tour in France a couple years ago, that was too much. That was too much. That was. And you've been too much, and you've definitely been too much.
I disagree. I've been too much.
No, Mike, you've been too much.
I'm never too much. I sit there and I like to go to the table. I like to have fun at the table. If a guy comes after me, I'm going to tell him what I'm going to do to him if he keeps coming after me.
But why can't you conduct yourself like a true professional?
I do conduct
What
myself
happened
like
to
a
you've got
professional.
little cojones, and I've got big cojones.
No, listen,
forget about that
the
one?
guy re-raised and re-raised and re-raised and re-raised me 100 times. Finally, I stuck it to him like I told him I was going to do and showed him a bluff for 400,000 and said, now, stop messing with me. I put him down to the spot. Guess what? He quit messing with me.
Yeah, and he won $5 million.
Yeah, and I hung him out to dry. Good for him.
How does that not take you out of your game, though?
What's that?
When you're going like this, and you're yelling at people, and you're
I
pointing
don't yell at people. I only
You're
talk,
yelling at me right now. I don't have any chips in front of me.
I only talk to people that I know at the poker table. If I don't listen, nobody understands.
You
this.
knew Greg Raymer before?
Let me finish my statement.
Yeah, really.
Okay,
hold on.
Okay, before poker got big, there was 200 of us tops. Okay, everybody knew how everybody played. We played together for years. Okay, so when you got on the table, you're already somewhat friends with them in some kind of way. So if they made a play at you didn't like, you mess with them and say, "Oh, you such an idiot. You such a donkey. How could you play like?" And that's how it was. But now with the poker being so big, you know, you don't say that to people you don't know, unless somebody like Greg comes after me. Now I'm like, oh, you want to keep coming after me? Well, guess what, buddy? You know, and that's what happened there. But listen, I really like Greg. He's a great guy. You know.
Yeah, I do think that sometimes, and I mean, everyone's gotten out of line at a poker table, and one of the things that we all have to deal with as professional players is the camera is on all the time, and they're going to find that one time when you get out of line. But I think one of the things that doesn't come across well, but it's something that happens in the real world, is this idea of needling and this idea of kind of jabbering back and forth. And there's a little bit of that trash talking, you know, on the basketball court. You don't hear it. You just kind of see that they're jawing a little bit. We're all mic'd up on sort of at the poker table, and that stuff doesn't come across all that well sometimes.
That's right. Watch a PGA Tour broadcast and watch when they're doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they're following Tiger around, and he's knocking his club on the ground and swearing, all right, and you never hear anything about Tiger being the bad boy of golf.
Guys, by the way, in case you're wondering, this is my true personality here. I'm the generic white guy, always on TV. We appreciate your insight and your honesty. Thanks, guys.
To learn, chat, and play with the pros, go where they live. FullTiltPoker.com.